This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 2, and it reads, Behold, Yahweh has a mighty and destroying one with a tempest of hell, destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters to cast a earth with a hand. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Wakar Kadash, and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and his unbegotten Son Bahashem. In the name of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashon Holy Tongue. And I say Barak Thumb to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf, and I say Shalom. And I think this is a video clip from Reuters. You had some type of heavy flooding that was taking place between the borders of Nepal and this border region of Nepal. I forgot the other area in that region. So you had some heavy floodings over there in Nepal. I think they said a dozen others was missing as well too. So I'm gonna play this video clip, and then I'm gonna search for the news article as well too for edification's sake. So this is fair use, fair use.
Everyone's talking about them progressing, and he's talking about breaking the scoring record. That's the kind of coach I got on my team. Yes, I've been very involved with the last month. And coming up, we got a Taylor quarterback with the ball.
Para di Victoria sa Leona, sa Leona.
Check this. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 6. Thou shalt be a visit of Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and with storms and tempests and flaming by fire. Right, because we've been seeing these heavy wildfires. We've been seeing these heavy earthquakes. We've been seeing the heavy thunders. We've been seeing these heavy floodings. These flash floods, landslides, mudslides, heavy floodings, heavy storms. And that's a little teeny increase. That's what we're seeing. So I'm gonna check out the news article of those heavy floods over there in the borders of Nepal. It says, this is from BBC News. It says hundreds missing, including 291 foreign tourists after a flash flood on Nepal's Tibet border. Got a live update from BBC News. It says updated 14 minutes ago. Live update, 21,528 viewing. It says summary, at least 31 people have been unalived and hundreds of tourists are missing after a massive flash floods, mudslides on the Nepal-Tibet border. It says the missing tourists, including more than 100 from India and 12 from the UK, according to Nepal's tourist board. The CCTV Tibet, if I pronounced that right, shows a wall of water, mud hitting buildings, a border crossing. Other images from Nepal shows people trying to flee as floods surge. In Tibet and Chinese President Xi Jinping is offered personal directives that usually means in instance it's very serious. Writes on our correspondence of Beijing, Laura Becker. Nepal foreign minister says the floods may have caused by an earthquake triggered an avalanche. It says this is the most devastating disasters in Nepal since 2015 earthquake that unalived 9,000 people, reports the BBC. Haldar Daliha and Kamil Madhu Kachamudhu, if I pronounced that right. It says a live report. It says from live reporting. It says in Tricklinkin companies conforms at 12 Britain's mission from the tour group. It says we reported early that 12 British nationalists were among the approximately 400 missing tourists. A tour company confirms that dozens of Britons are missing from one of the excursions across the Nepal to Tibet border. It says Ram Premier Calais, manager of the Alpine X tells the Press Association (PA) there is not much information to share at the moment, but yes, we have 12 British citizens supposed to make entry this morning. The ages of the missing Britons range from 13 to 65. The PA reports citing travel law. 2 Irish nationalists and 4 South African nationalists was also in excursion and are believed missing. It says U.S. Embassy in Nepal working to account for citizens. The U.S. Embassy in Nepal says it's working to account for citizens who may have been affected by the disaster. At least 3 U.S. citizens known to be missing following the deadly flash floods. The embassy is urging Americans to avoid the affected area. It says the latest. It says latest pictures from Nikwamp, where Nepalese forms ministers warns of ongoing risk and emergency personnel trying to find survivors. Most pictures are coming. River and revealed the text of the damages in Nepal's Nikwamp district. Nepalese foreign minister says there is a risk of coastal Nakwak is asking residents to stay on high alert. Residential buildings and cars can be seen submerged in mud and water, some almost entirely. There goes the images. It says personnel rescue call shows signs of Tibet devastation. Man, that's a whole building area right there. It says there are significant casualties in Tibet after a devastating mudslide, according to the Chinese state media. A number of people are also reported missing. Footage from the surveillance camera border appears to show buildings being completely submerged in mud and water. It's also difficult in China to get an idea of the scale of the disaster, and all media in the country are carefully controlling, particularly in Tibet.
And so let's pick it up from there. How has Lamar Jackson, there's so much attention being paid to him. It's a new offense under Declan Doyle. What have we seen so far? What do we expect?
It says according to local officials, the toll has risen to 31, and 93 people were also confirmed and injured. And they said 400 others are still accounted for missing. So the total is like 34 unalive and 400 still missing, and 29 foreigners, and some of them, 12 of them was from Britain, and 3 from the United States. All 291 foreign tourists after a deadly flash flood. So far, 31 unalive and more than 100 people from India and 12 from the UK. Once again, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise and storms and tempests and flame by fire. Right, so Yahweh of hosts was the Heavenly Father, the true creator of heavens and earth. This earth with these tornadoes, earthquakes, landslides, floodings, famines, and etc. That we're starting to see increasing at a alarming rate. Now, as of lately, people might say it has something to do with climate change, Mother Nature itself. But at the end of the day, we give credit to Heavenly Father. He's the one that's visiting the earth with these weather-like conditions, especially with these historical heavy floodings. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 2. Behold, Yahweh has a mighty and ensuring one. and which is a tempest of hail and destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters shall cast the earth with their hand. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, and verse 2. It says, Then thou shalt understand, it is a very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Right, so we're going to start to see the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, is going to visit the earth which he made, as the prophet Ezra has mentioned. 2nd Ezra 9 and verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, upwards people will right, that's what we're saying. So with that, this was just a quick sit-down lesson of Prophet Isaiah chapter 28 verse 2. That was the title of the sit-down lesson. As we're going to be starting to see more and more of these heavy flash floods and these storms and tempests and like fire in different parts around the world, just like we're seeing that heavy flooding over there in Nepal. As I play that video clip once again.
And what you want to do is make sure that he is creating conflict for the defense without evacuating conflict. You're going to put the center and do some play action pass with Derrick Henry, and that's good to create conflict and get this offense to be much more successful. So if there's one phrase I've used maybe the most often in my 30 years here on a sports group,
Para di bitari dal na sa ilaw na.
Until next time, I would say, Shalom.